You're watching WECT News at 6.
We're pregnant.
That's the reaction from family and friends when the Dotsies shared their big news. They are expecting it today. They weren't sure what happened. Like many couples, they dreamed of starting a family.
But it isn't always easy to get pregnant. WECT's Ashley Kozakowski reports they're one of the first couples in this area to conceive using a treatment that is fairly new to the Wilmington area. What is it, Ashley?
Well, Fran and John, couples struggling to have a baby used to have to drive to Raleigh or Charleston for IVF, which stands for in vitro fertilization. Now a clinic is offering that procedure for the first time in Wilmington.
So here's our nursery.
Zach and Tristan Dotsy are getting their nursery ready. Hanging pictures and hanging up onesies. This is something the couple hoped for.
This is so teeny.
But had doubts would happen. They tried for 2 years to get pregnant.
So there's a couple different procedures you go through before you get to the full-on IVF. And it's rough. I mean, it's a lot of up and downs. It's a lot of negative tests and a lot of let's just keep trying.
That's why they were candidates for IVF. Here's how it works. The doctor takes eggs from a woman, fertilizes them in a lab, creating an embryo that's then transplanted into her. Before now, couples like the Dotsies would have to travel more than 2 hours from Wilmington to even try IVF. Not just for the procedure, but they'd have to make several other trips for blood tests and ultrasounds before and after. The Dotsies say it would have been an obstacle.
The cost is substantial, and so even when you consider what you're paying the IVF center plus gas and time and doing all that, taking off work,
Maybe hotel stays now and then
right,
sometimes.
it does make a huge difference that it's here locally.
The fact that it was right here is, right down the street from us it made it a lot easier to be able to make the decision to do that.
Dr. Corrine Frew is the first doctor in Wilmington offering IVF. When you talk to Dr. Frew, you can tell she loves making babies.
I think the most difficult thing that doctors peddle is hope, and I take that responsibility very seriously because we have unfortunate outcomes as well as happy ones, but to be able to meet a patient that you've shepherded through pregnancy and then meeting them when they finally have their baby in their arms, you realize that you're creating people. Every success that we have is a person, and that has ripple effects throughout that community, maybe the world.
To get the procedure approved at New Hanover Regional Medical Center, Dr. Frew had to do what's called a proof of concept. She started with 3 couples. All 3 got pregnant.
That was awesome. There was lots of hooting and hollering around the office. We go crazy every time something like that happens, but we celebrate pregnancy or else I shouldn't be in this field.
For the Dotsies, IVF worked on the first try. But that's not all. They got a big surprise when they went in for their first ultrasound at 6 weeks.
You do get to do the ultrasound, the first ultrasound, and that's when we found out it was 2. So she had to take a seat. She definitely took a moment and was like, I'm going to sit down. And I was already laying down.
There was only a 1% chance of the embryo splitting like this, giving the couple twins.
We were in shock for about, at least the first week.
I'm still in shock.
So now,
this is the back.
Tristan and Zach are expecting 2 baby boys, Fox and Phoenix.
Overjoyed. Just couldn't be more excited. And I know it's going to be sleepless nights and lots of bottles and lots of diapers, but it's, a dream come true.
And it will pretty much melt your heart hearing what the babies on the way mean to this couple.
Our friends will tell you we've got this just kind of a ridiculous kind of love. We make people
on each other
sick.
Still.
And just the fact that we can have something or 2 somethings, I guess, from us means a lot to kind of carry on our story.
Yeah.
The Dotsies wait patiently now for the day later this month when they can welcome their 2 babies into the world.
And Tristan is scheduled for a C-section later this month, but the couple is hoping that the babies that they can hold out until March 4th. That's Zach's birthday, and he also shares that birthday with his dad. But her doctors, they just don't think she'll be able to wait that long.
Continuing coverage tonight, for the first time, we're meeting two bundles of joy who come from one of the first couples to successfully conceive with the help of in vitro fertilization from a clinic in Wilmington. A doctor started offering the procedure here last year, and in February, we first introduced you to the Dotzees. At that time, Tristan was just a few weeks away from giving birth to twins. Ashley Kazakowski checked back in with the Dotzees. Ashley, how's the family doing?
Well, like all new parents, Zach and Tristan Dotzee are getting very little sleep, but they're soaking up every moment with their new baby boys who came into the world a few weeks early. Feeding, burping, kisses from mom and dad, nap time, then repeat, ×2. The Dotzees say life with twins is exhausting.
I mean, it's also magical at the same time. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying in a way, but it's also amazing, and I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way, for sure.
When we first introduced you to the Dotzee family, they were excited about welcoming their babies into the world. They arrived earlier than expected on February 10th, 34 and a half weeks into Tristan's pregnancy. The twins were in the NICU for 9 days, and today they're happy and healthy.
so this is Phoenix, and this is Fox, and it is, I like to say it's literary. That makes it sound a little cooler, but it's from Harry Potter. The Phoenix in that story is named Fox.
And the new parents say they can tell the twins apart most of the time.
He's got a little bit of a cowlick on his forehead
And a
little teeny
red
dot,
dot.
like maybe a birthmark would have started. It's tough. If you've got hats on him, there's almost no way.
Next week, Tristan heads back to work at the office of the doctor who made this miracle possible. Tristan works for Dr. Corrine Frew, the first doctor in Wilmington offering IVF. Tristan hopes to inspire other couples struggling with infertility.
There's hope at the end. I mean, we're an amazing story of hope.
Works out.
Yeah.
As for having more children,
That belly and just feeling them kick, it's just something so special. And the thought of giving them a younger sibling is tempting, but
We'll see.
We'll see.
so we'll see. For now, they're enjoying the time with the twins and all these special moments. Well, 1 in 8 couples have a difficult time conceiving, and this is National Infertility Week, which shines a light on the struggles of couples who are having trouble getting pregnant. And the Dotzees say they hope their story helps others who are going through this and helps give them hope.